They originally said that you had to use the paid currency to get extra rolls on raid drops, and they actually changed that to paying gold to get those rolls at the end. And there's been a lot of changes, so if you watched or read the patch notes when they released earlier today, they've updated them twice. Hey, what's going on, guys? Defiancz here. Welcome back to another Lost Ark video. Today we have a lot of news. We're going to be talking about the release notes for tomorrow, and we're also going to be talking about the game director and what he had to say about the game. I'm joined with one of my mods and going to be one of my guild officers, Headpath, so we're super excited to both talk about it. We have a lot to go through. So first off, pretty impressed with what the game director had. He was honestly extremely humble, and a few things that people were curious about was that he even said the game was never focused around PvP when he was asked that question. He was actually super honest, and he said that if people are interested in PvP, he'll reconsider his thoughts, but he never thought the game would be a PvP game. And he even said that it'll possibly look into like 3v3 queues and stuff like that. Although the 3v3 queues are not in right now, it's good to see that they're open-minded about everything. What do you think, Dan, about his like super wholesome like comments and everything? Like, what'd you get the vibes from him?
It kind of reminded me of when they did that little convention they do where they talk about their game every year. And he addressed some people's concerns about, certain activities that players wanted to be addressed in the game. And he said, oh yeah, no problem, we could do that. It really shows that he's very like in tune with his player base and people who play the game. Audience shows that it's like going to play it more seriously. There's a good chance that it'll be improved upon.
Yeah, because compared right now to like Activision Blizzard, currently it's more about the community definitely doesn't like something and they just don't care. They'll put in game systems and things that just don't make any sense, but it engages the player and makes them grind out useless things for more time. And it sounds like that from what we were getting at in the video, he wants you to explore the entire game.
It's very good to hear though that he's more trying to like push for a genuine experience rather than like trying to sell you on something.
Yeah, I mean, he if you haven't seen the trailer, that'll be in the description. The game trailer talks about his passions, and one of his passions were all the islands that you can visit and how there's so many mysteries that are not on just the continents but the actual islands you have to use your boats to explore. So he was actually super excited to say that, hey, you get to level 50, you do the end game content, but there's still so much more to explore. It's not super linear, it's not just about doing quests, but there's all these little things and that are going to be added with seasonal events. And we're going to get a little bit later where he talks about like the power pass. That's super exciting, and there's been a lot of changes. So if you watched or read the patch notes when they released earlier today, they've updated them twice from it. But overall, let's get into the patch notes.
Sure.
All right, so dungeons and raid content. There's a lot here, and it's not a lot for us to really explain. Basically, all you need to know is that tier 3 content is going to be at the beginning, and we'll get into it a little bit later because you might have heard that you can basically boost your way to tier 3, but they did make some changes to that. So let's continue from here. And this is what the director was talking about, is the island and sea content. So a lot of people think that the game is just on land, but there are about 100 islands. I think this says 97. There's like 97 different islands that you have to take your boat to explore that have different rewards.
I think it's really cool that they have something like this where they can, again, what they label like now it's horizontal content, where it's maybe not direct progression for your character, but you can just go out with your friends, go explore some islands, go have some fun playing these different like mini games that are located on these islands or different events. And I know in the trailer they showed like a horror island where it was like some sort of like mystery, like thriller kind of thing. And you could still just play the game. It's so great. It's just having fun, which is like the pure essence of what playing a game should be about.
Yeah, it's not just about getting, like, of course you're gonna watch people, all they want to do is raid, but there's so much more that we're not used to. And I think a lot of the NA population is not used to the fact that there was like a like a almost like Mario Party style games on some of the islands. Like there's like
I cannot wait.
like a mini golf, or not a mini golf, like go-kart kind of games and
Yeah,
stuff
there's
like
go
that.
kart. There's platformers. There's like
They're
I mean,
even
there's, like,
they're even releasing like a MOBA, like a League of Legends MOBA into the game. It's more about
It's
you
insane,
playing
yeah.
more Lost Ark than other games, but it's not just playing Lost Ark. It's the fact that there's so many things to do that they're releasing to make you feel like, although you're playing Lost Ark, it feels like a new game in a sense.
I think that's why they call it like a theme park MMO or in that regard, because it's like the focus of MMOs used to be about community, playing with other people on a massive scale, right? It's massive multiplayer online. And it kind of drifted away from that now. It's like kind of more like a solo grind that you do with your friends when you're doing dungeons or raids just to get the power bump. Then you do your weekly raid lockouts and then you're done. But now this game does something special where it puts the focus on not only that enjoyable progression of content, but more so on just engaging with community. I mean, there was that scene in the trailer where you had like you and like 40 other players turn into chickens trying to kill a raid boss or some crazy mess like that. Just fun things like that really make the element of the MMO like highlighted.
It removes the check in the block sort of MMO where it's, did you do the mythic dungeon this week? Yup. Did you do the raid this week? Yup. The rewards are, and you check that off, and then you're kind of just sitting there running around Stormwind or Orgrimmar, just kind of hoping something pops up. Like, so I'm glad we're going away from that. The next thing, before we get too much off topic, because obviously if you've made it this far, this is where it gets good. DirectX 11 is something that I will talk about. Overall, everybody who's seen DirectX 11 in its effect has seen about a 30 to 50 FPS gain and a smoother running game. They don't have DirectX 12. Usually DirectX 12 actually crashes a lot of people's systems. But I love the fact they're going from DirectX 9 to DirectX 11. This is a huge, I think it's...
oh yeah, it's incredible. The UI is so polished. The graphics look incredible on just their demo alone. They've definitely done a lot to improve these kind of things, it seems.
Custom PvP matches and spectating have been added, so if you're interested in hosting your own PvP matches or going into those things, those have been added. And then the Korean voiceover is a DLC on Steam, and this will take place, I believe, when the game goes live. You can go in right away and download the Korean voiceovers if you want to get the original vanilla experience of the game. You obviously don't have to, and it's not included right away. So I definitely would try and install that right before you launch, but you might want to miss out on the that experience in the beginning, just because downloading that might be the difference between you being 100,000 in queue and 110,000 in queue. So
it's definitely going to be a queue. For sure.
So the director actually said that his goal is to see 200,000 concurrent players. I don't think he knows what he's expecting. I think that, yeah. And so for anybody who's afraid
he's got humble expectations.
That's true. For anybody who doesn't know, I guarantee that on the 11th, if servers are so flooded, they're going to just pop up more servers at launch. They're trying to prevent what's happening in New World right now, but I don't think that it's going to ever have the same effect, because New World has a $40 entry fee, and Lost Ark doesn't have any entry fee. You just click download and you hit the play button, and you can play with all of your friends and do all the content without ever having to drop a dime.
Yep.
As far as the westernization goes, this is an addition. They originally said that you had to use the paid currency to get extra rolls on raid drops, and they actually changed that to paying gold to get those rolls at the end, because people were upset on Reddit, and they're rightfully so. I was a little bit as well, that you can get additional rolls on gear after completing a raid only through paid currency, but now it's gold. So as long as you earn gold, bring gold with you before the raid, you can roll on additional loot at the end, which I think is an amazing part.
Yeah,
this being a free-to-play game, they have taken so many streams of revenue out, and I believe that most of their money and how they're gonna make it is through people either buying gold through the paid currency, which people are iffy one way or another, and then also buying cosmetics.
Oh yeah.
The cosmetics are incredible in the game. Most people have already, like myself, have invested platinum or the platinum edition, which is like $99. But I think you get so much currency that I think it's personally worth it, and so many things. But anyways, this is the part that people were looking at before. There's a power pass, and the power pass basically allows for you to boost one character all the way up through the entire story. And that means that you can hit level 50, do all the main storyline, and then go right back and use a power pass and up and boost one character all the way up to 50 with your current main. And then once you use your first power pass, you get a second power pass immediately after sent to you in your in-game mail to boost a third character up to 50. This means in the very beginning of Lost Ark, probably within the first 2 weeks if you're a casual, and within the first few days as a hardcore sweaty gamer, you can have 3 full characters at max level. All right, guys, thank you guys so much. We will be on Katara, the server Katara. I look forward to guys seeing you there. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.